Once upon a time, a city girl named Felicity and a city boy named Peter bought an abandoned 1830s farmhouse in New York. Welcome back after the holiday break. As you may notice, A, the Christmas tree is still up behind me, and B, this does not look like the new house. So for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you will remember that our first goal was to get into the house by December 20th. That ended up not happening. We then rescheduled for our certificate of occupancy walkthrough for December 30th. And as of this filming, that was now a few days ago, and we're not in the house. So I don't want to spoil anything too badly, but spoiler alert, we're not yet in the house. I did want to catch you up, though, on the work that's been done since. So today's video is going to cover the work that was done right before, like the day before Christmas break and the day after Christmas break. And then I have some stuff filmed as well from the end of last week. And then we should be caught up and doing real-time stuff again. So I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. I hope that you have a prosperous and joyful 2025. And with that, let's get into the updates on the house. It is 2 days before Christmas, is Christmas Eve. And we are moving forward. The crew is not here tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve, and they're not here on Christmas Day. And we have 4 days between when they get back and when the certificate of occupancy inspection is scheduled. So I imagine there's going to be quite a lot happening in those 4 days. And so I will attempt to bring you along for the ride. So this is the first big change. The kitchen flooring is in. Doesn't this look great? This actually isn't the original pattern that we had picked out, but I think this looks fantastic. I'm pretty excited about it. And then it carries on all the way through into the back hallway here. This is the hallway that goes behind the bathroom and out into the main room. And look, they've hung the door to the basement. This apparently is required for the certificate of occupancy code. You have to have a door down to your basement. This is the door that was on the bathroom that they have now rehung. That's very exciting. Also, our countertops are in. The countertops that were here were completely gross and terrible, so we had to get new ones. So the new countertops are in. This is my first look at our new stove. The propane folks were here last week and connected us up. This is the brand new stove, which is very exciting. And then we also, if you'll remember, had to get some new cabinetry for the sink. So that is, let me pull this aside. That is under here as well. Ready to finish cabinet. I'm sorry I can't give you a better picture, but it's underneath the drop cloth. So that's really cool. The other change is in the bathroom. So let me show you. And look, I can just turn on a light and show you the bathroom. Isn't that fantastic? Just like I was able to turn on a light and show you the kitchen. The fan has been moved to a different switch, which is something I had asked for. I am one of those picky people who does not like the fan running unless there's a need for the fan to be running. So they've still got some work to do in here, but this is the way the Tetris has played out. So the shower will be here. You can get a better idea of it now. The shower will be there. The sink will be right next door to it. And then you'll be able to walk in here and get to the sink. So this is very exciting. I see they've got the nozzles going on there. So definitely progress since the last time we were here. So coming upstairs, we have the ceiling fan put in, which is very cool. And then if we go into my office, they have finished the patch on the ceiling and put a light in. And it turns on, which is super cool. A lot of you have been asking if there's a lake out here. This is the view out my window. And yes, through those trees, down behind there is Seneca Lake. So most of the changes are downstairs. This light bulb was here a few days ago. This is a change. They have also put one of these lights in the master bedroom. And the string just came off the chain. So that's exciting. And then, ooh, this is cool. This is the space heater that the previous owners left in the house. If you watched the video a few weeks ago, you may remember that the crew de-dusted it and has been using it downstairs in the painting room. And since we're still working on getting the mini splits up and running, they've now moved it upstairs to keep the upstairs a little bit warmer than it would be otherwise. Gosh, it looks good. Has a bit of a hum to it. If we didn't have our own fancy wood stove, I could totally see sitting in front of something like this. It's super cute. And then the last room is Peter's room. I see the piles of stuff have been rearranged in here, and this also has a light. So if you might remember from a couple of days ago, the original plan had been to put ceiling fans in here, but we didn't end up using them because the ceilings are too low, and also we don't really need them now that we have a mini split. But unfortunately, we bought the ceiling fans too long ago to be able to return them, so we have a couple of extra ceiling fans. Look at this, you guys. This is the outer door on the mudroom that's been hung. So I have showed a couple of different instances of this being painted, and they rehung it, and I totally didn't even notice it when we first came through. And then I was looking through the window in the room over there, and I thought, oh my gosh, they've hung it. It looks fantastic. Oh my goodness. Green framing, white door, green framing. Looks like some of the paint might be coming off. That's okay. We'll do some touch-ups. Ooh. First time we've been here for mail delivery. That's exciting. This is this is the first snowfall on our driveway, on our yard. First substantive snowfall. We had a couple of dustings, but this is the first actual snowfall we've had. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the furnace is so delightful. And since I've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. 2 days ago, it was pouring down rain in the 40s, and it felt like, late fall or early spring. So this feels like Christmas. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. There's definitely a couple of deer paths going through here. One of them comes out kind of in this part of the woods, another one comes out in that part of the woods, and they both come up the slope here and cross the road, which I guess makes sense. And there is the propane tank that was installed last week. It's discreetly small because the only thing that we need the propane for is to run the stove. Everything else in the house is electric. And the reason we went with electric is that we do intend to put in solar or other off-grid energy at some point in the future. And having it all on electric means that we can then convert all of that to the off-grid system in future. I would have been fine with an electric stove, but Peter insists that a gas stove gives more control. And since he is the main cook and he makes delicious food, that is what we went with. When I came in from outside, Louis said that the buck came through just about a couple hours ago along here. So those tracks that you guys that I showed you, those are fresh from a couple hours ago, which explains why they're all the way through to the mud underneath. I'm really looking forward to being able to sit here and watch the wildlife come and go. As long as they don't get hit by a car in front of my house. That is the one thing that I am not thrilled about. But otherwise, part of the joy of living out here was to be more out with critters and a little bit less human neighbors. Floor was in before the break, but today they are mudding all of the joints so that it can be sanded and painted. So Jess was just up on the ladder here a little while ago. She's taking a break. Bathroom and the kitchen are going to be the site of the biggest changes because the most work needs to be done on them. Obviously, the walls need to be finished in here and all the fixtures need to be put in. And then the fixtures have to be put in here as well, right? The garbage disposal needs to go in. The sink needs to go in. Most of the changes are happening downstairs. There's very little that needs to be done up here. So most of it's touch-up work, like that had to be taken out to run the new outlets, so that needs to be done. There's some holes in the baseboards from that were revealed when we took off the baseboard heating units. The ceiling in here, this is my office. The ceiling in here still needs to be finished, which is totally fine. This is one of the very nice holes in the baseboard that were revealed once we took off the baseboard heat. Those, of course, are throughout the house. The fan is in, though. This fan we wanted because, of course, the hot air from the wood stove is going to be coming up the stairwell, and we wanted something that would pull the air up and move it around upstairs. Even though we do have mini splits, we are hoping that we can use wood heat for a lot of our heating this winter. So very cool. I don't think we've ever seen a light on in this stairwell, actually. The one that was here before did not work, didn't turn on. So this is really, really cool to see the light on. And then here is Peter's office. It's been tidied up in here. This is our treasure room. For those of you who remember way back when, everything that's in here is stuff that they left in the house that we thought we might be able to find a use for. So I'm pretty excited to be able to get through here and actually start doing it. This mirror, for example, is quite lovely. You know, have Peter wanted a little like drinks fridge and stuff like that. So, oh, and they've taken off. Oh my gosh. So these metal brackets used to be all the way down this wall. And in fact, they used to be where this is. So I don't know if that was just behind the brackets or at one point it was behind all of them. You can see there's a whole line down here and the wallpaper is a substantially different color. It's more peachy down there. I don't know if that is because it's less clean or more clean, but those are off now. So that wall is largely free. But again, I mean, there's a bunch of touch-up stuff. Some of the stuff has to be touched up before the certificate of occupancy can be granted. Some of it has to be done afterwards. So what we're trying to do now is prioritize the stuff that needs to be done ahead of time. I can't get over how cool it is to stand out here and have a light on and a brand new fan. Woohoo! Testing, 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 microphone, microphone, microphone. So that is it for today's video. That catches us up to the day after Christmas. As I mentioned, I have another video with footage from the couple of days following this, and then we will be caught up to the present. So thank you so much for following along, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.